So the Portuguese Golden Visa Program, give us the highlights and headlines from that, where we are now.
Right. So first things first, the misconception that the program is over is actually not true. The program is still going on. It's still one of the most popular programs out there. And the only thing is that Portugal did change the program significantly a couple of times within the last decade. And the most recent one eradicated the real estate option. So you can no longer purchase a real estate or invest in a real estate related fund to get a golden visa. But there are still 4 routes that go to the golden visa in Portugal. And the most popular one by far is investing in a Portuguese venture capital or private equity fund, a total amount of 500,000 euros or more. And that would give you and your family the right to have the golden visa in Portugal, live, work in Portugal, and travel freely across the Schengen region. And the main value proposition over there is basically the fact that you're eligible to apply for a citizenship at the end of 5 years of holding the golden visa in Portugal.
So you're still very much open for business. So despite what people might have heard, if they look at it more closely, there's plenty of options to invest and successfully secure these residency options in Portugal.
For sure. I would say that 95% of the investors choose the fund route, as Murat was mentioning, so investing in a private equity or venture capital fund. So this is clearly, like any other investment route, there are advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of the fund route, I would say, is a highly regulated market. All of the funds are approved by the Portuguese Market Commission, CMVM. Then professional management. Fund managers with track record are in charge of calling the shots. Then hassle-free investment, so experienced fund managers are on the driver's seat. Tax efficiency, this is very important. So in terms of capital, annual dividends and capital gains, there are no taxes in Portugal for non-residents. And also the diversification, because it's allowed to invest in multiple funds, and this is very interesting to diversify your risk.
Okay, fantastic. And it's a competitive landscape in the world of global mobility. How do you compare Portugal with other jurisdictions?
That's a good question, actually. You're right. Different programs are popping up left and right, some better than others. But the value proposition for Portugal is really, let me give you an example. So we get a lot of clients from all over the world, and we typically face 3 pointers that people really want to opt in for. Number 1, people want to make an investment, not a donation typically. Good or bad investment, but an investment nevertheless.
They're not writing that capital off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then number 2, typically most of our clients opt in for the European Union. There's many programs in the Caribbean as well that will give you the passport right away in exchange for a donation. But a lot of people, considering the future generations and whatnot, still want it to be in the European Union. And number 3, most of our clients, they're not really willing to relocate to another country full time. So they want to stick to where they are currently, either because of their business, their family, their lifestyle, whatever might be tying them to there, but they don't want to relocate, but they still want to get the path to citizenship. So the only country that allows for all 3 of these at the same time is Portugal. If we were to compromise from any one of these 3, there's different options.
Murat, so how would you summarize the position at the moment, looking at the market at large and the Portuguese offering within it?
The investment migration sector, it's growing, but it's also shifting constantly. There's different dynamics that are playing for that growth. There's a growing demand, both geographically, but also in terms of the socioeconomic classes that these programs are catering to. And with that, different programs are popping up all around the world, really. Now, within that, some of these programs, they allow you to make a qualifying investment. It goes to a residency permit, and it stays as a residency permit as long as you hold on to that investment. Some of these programs, you make a qualifying investment, it goes on to a residency permit, and at the end of a certain number of years, if you fulfill a set of requirements, it can then turn into a citizenship. And then some of these programs, you make a qualifying investment or a donation, and it directly goes into a citizenship. Now, having said that, there's different programs with different value propositions. So there's really no one-size-fits-all solution. Now, within that, Some people prefer programs like the Greek Golden Visa, the Spanish Golden Visa, the Hungarian Golden Visa, the Italian Golden Visa. So these are typically similar value propositions with small different nuances that are different than one another. For instance, the Greek Golden Visa went through some changes recently. Now there's 3 different tiers. You can either invest in 250,000 euros in a converted real estate from commercial to residential, or 400,000 euros in a rural real estate, or 800,000 euros in the cities. And that would give you and your family a golden visa in Greece. What does that give you? The right to live in Greece, the right to travel across the Schengen region without an extra Schengen visa. Spain, on the other hand, 500,000 euro real estate investment, similar value proposition. And then Hungary, 250,000 euros in a real estate fund, or 500,000 euros directly into a real estate, and then that would give you a 10-year visa, which would then be renewable as well. So each of these have different nuances that are different than one another. And then the Portuguese Golden Visa, the main differentiator in that one is, yes, there's no real estate investment available, but you can invest 500,000 euro in a qualifying fund in Portugal, fund or funds, and in exchange for that, get a Portuguese Golden Visa. What does that give you? It gives you the right to live and work in Portugal, travel freely across the Schengen region, but at the end of 5 years, if you fulfill the stay requirements of 7 days a year in Portugal, you can then be eligible to apply for a Portuguese passport as long as you have no unpaid taxes in Portugal, you have a clean criminal record, and you pass an A2 level certification in the Portuguese language. So, and then there's all these programs in the Americas, the Latin American ones, in the US, there's the EB5. Different flavors for different appetites, really. But the overall market is growing. It's going through changes for various reasons, for political pressure locally in some of these countries, and then for some of the union's pressures, like in Europe, the European Commission is putting a lot of pressure against these programs. So every year we're seeing a lot of shifts. But the good thing is most of these changes, they're not retroactive, meaning they do not affect the people that have already signed up for the program. They just affect the people that applied after the changes were applied.
Provides an incentive to take some action today, doesn't it?
Exactly, yes.